This day 1197 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Today's Arukh HaShulchan Yomi is sponsored by Rav Moshe Ben Zalewski for his chus for Ksiva Chasima Tova for all of Am Yisrael. Today we are doing Siman Kuf Chaf. We are there, Siman Kuf Chaf. Sif Lamed Heit Mem Aleph. Yeah, so we're in the middle of the discussion of what's considered to be Kli Suda that requires Tevila. Lamed Hey. If in absolute usage for a meal, it doesn't matter if the food is you're using this keli at the stage before it's cooked or it's not at the stage before it's cooked. It's going to do with whether it is suitable for use in some other manner or not. In all these things, you need to tefillah mida raisa with a bracha. Which are not from the primary needs of the Suda. They don't give us any advantage in the pursuits of cooking or baking. We need it for some other reason for this purpose. Or because there's a special halacha. Like a shchita knife, which you're not allowed to eat the meat without shchita. Or something which has to do which you need because of derech, like a skinning knife. It's not derech eretz to eat before it's skinned and butchered. And so too the metals with which they fix the matzah shkoin stufelizen. Stufelizen, I guess, means pushing in irons. It's not for the purpose of the Suda, so it shouldn't get bloated. Not sure exactly I understand the difference. I guess because that really is because the halachic reason. Sefer Isabat Hashem Chashiv Odkigon Clay Malchus Shabbataki B'Hem HaKreplach, a form with which you would make a kreplach. And the metal with which you cut matzos. The metal implement with which you pick out the dough from the mixing bowl. These are not primary, we don't read them at all. And you could also cook or bake or cook properly without their involvement. Therefore, they don't require tefillah. Because the food is not at that point suitable to eat or drink. Meaning when the food is ready to eat, and a beverage to drink, any vessel used in that state has to be toivel. I feel like even if it's not essential to the Suda, it's that usage. Just something nice to do. Writes, place where people remove the burnt parts of the bread, when they move it from the oven. With that metal piece with which they fix the mixing bowl. So tefillah bracha requires tefillah and a bracha because at that point, whatever you bake is suitable to eat. Even though removing it from the oven is not a primary usage for a meal, I'm not sure why. Get out of the oven or eat it. Because never started tefillah. Doesn't matter. Require tefillah anyway. What do they mean by saying that a shchita knife you don't use for any other purpose? Means when people use it for another purpose, or require tefillah because of the other purpose. Avokema chain mishtamshim below tashachar, but you don't use it for another purpose. Tash is that ain't no eco sarchisul amiyadin, and you don't have if we weren't Jews, we wouldn't shecht animals in order to eat them. So it's not part of the food preparation. It's only to fulfill the halacha of shechita, which we're required to fulfill as Jews. That's a nice shot. L'chein ain't tzarich tefillah. It doesn't require tefillah. L'chein kosu gankin machat shetofim bo hamul yosa. That's I wrote about the needle with which you sew up kishka. Shein tzarich tefillah doesn't require tefillah. Shein zamikra suda. It's you don't require this to make it for the primary. It's not primary in preparing the suda. You could just tie the string together, just holding it close together. And so since the food is not really truly prepared to eat until it's cooked, you don't need tefillah for this lower level of usage. So the Ramah, that's why he was concerned and required by the shechita knife and the knife for skinning the animal. He was chose to argue and require you to feel about that brachim. Because even though one has had a mitzvah, when it comes to derech eretz, they are absolute usages. You can't eat without them. But these metal rods, clouds are not considered old. But the ain't ever get a tashmish cloud. It's not considered to be a tashmish for a dish. Whatever Achronim say in order to resolve this is not clear on that. The Arukh HaShulchan. The bracket says here, if he's about to move on it. Because it says about this understood. Shekai al tam sakin shel shchita. And the reason that the skinning knife would be okay, because it's the same reason as the shchita knife. You don't use it for another purpose. When you're doing these things, it's not suitable to eat yet. The food is not suitable. Meat is not suitable to eat. You didn't have to write this idea. This first idea that it's because you don't use it for another. You don't use it for another purpose because that's obvious. Okay, because meals because it's disgusting to eat with a shechita knife. When it's also a butcher's knife, ain't sort of is not required to feel a viduk. Okay, that's all one sif. Lam involved. Misparayim goes in Boyerek. Scissors which are used to cut vegetables. Yeshim tefillah. Some people say needs tefillah. The bach and the pri chodesh. Yeshim shein tefillah. Some people that doesn't require tefillah. Taz and the shach. Tav gav chodesh mishra siman tzayik zayin mikra kli seuda. The Indian shall also tov some mashkan, even though it's called meal essential implements, and therefore somebody can't take them away for a mashkom. Like it says, you can't take away these things for a mashkom because you deprive them of their basic sustenance. Nevertheless, so again, there was collateral. Become lenient tefillah. Nevertheless, there's a time that came they're not using any purpose. Don't be quickly suited with tefillah. Not called klisuda for the purpose of tefillah. Fima should be on the based on what we said previously. Shnei adeos, sorry. Hem halacha. Both beans are halacha. Dima yerek nechal chai. If the batch was eaten raw, kedei rishon like the first reason. Yitzhak bishul, then pattern on that account. Yitzhak bishul, we still require cooking. Ha'ikar kedei achroina. And we pattern on the account of the second, the seconding reasoning, which is that just say says minay. So the second reason was. I guess that's because they're not essential for the process. You can use other things for them. I think that's what you wrote previously. Lamed Zayin. You also wrote previous in Sifra of Ches. The afilu man desfile does limit on my midlina. Too many of those that you go after whatever holds makes the kli intact in terms of tuma and tara. Konkali and tefillah never in terms of in terms of tuma. Never in terms of tefillah came with mami nubachut since these rungs of the barrel on the outside, etc. With it's like a wooden barrel, which has those rings, shekran rifin. Means clean. They sustain the vessel. Ain't so tvila. You only require tvila on account of that metal. Because the usage is on the inside. Mokom hates where it's wood. Nevertheless, there is evidently somebody put by the shach who says you should teva without a bracha. Mashpechos like livor, which are kind of funnels. Tefillah requires tefillah. Grunt. It's kind of like a spout in the vessel itself. Well, it's not a spout. It's a thing with which you pour. So to the faucets of kelim. This is a spout. The shekhain I guess spout. Shetzirim tefillah, they require tefillah because shehem shabbat of they're made of metal, out of metal or any other out of any metal. But that's only the primary part of the keli is actually something which requires tefillah, like it's metal. But the primary part of the keli is wood. Rak shemat barza, but there's a little bit of metal or shamatchos or other a little bit of iron or other metals. Kavur bowl the mashmer barza is embedded in it to be a pourer or to be a spigot. But then null and void visibly the kli itself ain't so tefillah don't require tefillah. Zhem einam ikar tashmish al keli, not the primary usage of the keli. Shakli royal the tashmish can be loaded up. The kli can be used even without them. We don't use them. We use the keli. Therefore, a vessel which has pegs of metal on the inside, and without these pegs, you will not be able to use it. So that requires tefillah. It's not like rungs on the outside of the barrel. Chashugim on the outside. Now you say those in these pegs, if neither on the inside, where the beverage comes. That's why if the pegs on the outside, says yeah, but it says on the outside, but it doesn't require tefillah. Tefillah man does have some mamid, even those who go according to that which sustains the vessel. As you wrote in terms of the rings of the barrel. Misha machmir b'sham lidbo below bracha. Somebody who's going to be machmir there by the davar maimin on the outside. Machmir gamakan. So machmir also here with these pegs. The din echol they both have the same halacha. Number ches. Kosher kesim. Video shal eitz. I have a silver cup, I guess with a stand of wood. Tzarich tefillah below bracha requires. No, it's not a stand. Somehow it holds it together. I might be a stand. I'm not sure because it could be that's what's being called a mamid here. It's not clear to me. So kosher kesim tzarich tefillah below bracha. Maybe go off that which holds it in place. Come tefillah tzara, but it requires tefillah no matter what. The kamo shel kosam chashuke barzel she'en tzarich tefillah. It's like we said by the still think they're called bungs of the barrel that they don't with the barrel wooden metal bungs. She'en tzarich tefillah doesn't require tefillah. Afi muslim b'sam even go after the mamishim chashukim mechutz because these bungs are on the outside. So the opposite. With what holds together is wood and it's on the outside. Came with the shmatash yishvim, since the usage on the inside, makom machlos in the metal part, tzarich tefillah requires tefillah. Amashim shalach eitz, but if you have a spout of wood, v'yesho shefer shabaz, which has a metal straw in it, even though you go through the straw, ain't tzarich tefillah, you don't have to tefillah it. Machlosh ein mamid, since it's not sustaining the vessel, but that's a mashbech, it's nullified to the spout. The miut batal gabir, the minority, is negated, nullified by the majority, which kasad masifa kodem. Excuse me. Abo kos shel kesef mechuber b'kli, but if you have a cup of silver, which is so this sounds like a stand. The stand is not good enough. If you have a kosher kesef which is connected to a kli, a kosher will be so the cup is by itself. Ela should be mechubar kli, but it's connected to the wooden vessel. L'chein tzarich tefillah b'bracha. That requires tefillah with a bracha. It's no different than the knife, which is held in a wooden handle. V'ima eitz mekivas kesef. If the wood surrounds the silver, or kesef mekivas eitz, or vice versa. Kvalamai b'dim shabiana. We already learned from the halachos, which we explained. It depends what's on the inside. If you have a pepper grinder, with that it's made out of wood, but it has a metal disc inside which grinds the pepper. Requires tefillah and a bracha. The metal is the primary part of this keli. And the same thing with a coffee mill. The tachlis akli shenova b'pilplin b'kabe shalates, and the bottom underneath the grinder, which is made out of wood, where the coffee or the pepper falls, and so it doesn't require tefillah. Those who say shein tzarich bracha came with shadayim b'chusa bishul. Those who say it doesn't require bracha because the coffee is still lacking cooking. It's a melody prima godim and the mishpat zav and pischei tshuva. Some of them in Arukh HaShulchan. That is based on what the Achronim say, which we told us Siflam Gimel yesterday. It's not true. If this is the if it's absolutely essential, the preparation of the food, it still requires a bracha. Lamates, v'day yishno lo yinu me'olam shitbu yur shabayz lo shenochosh takvuim me'tanorim shemechamem harbei chamin. And not only that, large pots of metal, of iron or copper, which embedded in the ovens in which they heated a lot of hot water or hot stuff in general, and nobody told us that. You can't say it's because they're connected to the oven. And the oven is b'chur b'lekarka. Therefore, the halach is like land and not a vessel. Because we hold the total shebasov chibro, that's something which was severed from the ground and then afterwards connected to the ground. It's still considered to be as if it's severed from the ground, to have that status in terms of being machshir Zerayim Kabel Tuma. In other words, it's Zerayim following that the machshir Kabel Tuma, ve'akum, and making something also because of Avodah Zarah, because even though now it's connected to the ground, since originally it was not connected to the ground, so therefore a person who worships it can answer it. You can't shech mechuber with a knife which is mechuber l'karka, but in this case, since it was a kli originally was tolish, you can shech with this knife. What's that? Siv dalid, ayin sham. But after all said and done, we can say they're not by the clay suda. By the way, there are poskim, Rabbanan Slovechkin, when they were poskim that any keli which is wired, it has to be wired to work. With electricity, it has din b'chur l'karka. Because if it's not b'chur l'karka, even though initially it's made, it's not b'chur l'karka, but it doesn't work unless it's b'chur l'karka. That it's intrinsic connection to the electric socket which makes it function. It's a chiddush, but it's a logical chiddush. So I'm not saying it to Baskin that way, but that's an interesting concept. Um, uh, Kokesh when the gom come einam b'chlad klisud the klisud let me create elkshim tamu so makam makam. Klisud is one thing which is portable. Other shamar it's also possible to say the kokli shikdol yeshim any kli which is too big. The asur many who claim that it's made not to use itself but to pour into smaller vessels. Kanke and nikres kli klisuda. It's not called klisuda. Be kli otsar. It's a place to it's like a reservoir, but oh, it's getting away from me. Um, to stockpile. So it's to stockpile stuff. Um, the locally suda not a tool for a suda. And I suppose we spoke of this yesterday. The big tin containers cold water for cold water. Other beverages. Since it's too big, ain't a kli can be called a keli for the meal. The that which used by the oven, place of shales, and in the cook kitchen, and on the table. Not great, a big can which have a special designated place for themselves. Nearly right as that, I think proof this is me the kaima lina tuma. That would show in terms of tuma the kli eight hamaksekas are by him saw that a kli eight which holds 40 saw and kalasum samakabal tuma. More foot samatan one of the web roots is well known. Machine the bina do me the sack. It's got to be like a sack. She metalta mole bereka that is carried empty, full and empty. I don't think it's part Shmi Isa, but there's another reason given to Esquanim. Creates Yochel Ashita Batiba Amiga, Huli Shem Aksing by himself. They're talking about should a large wooden vessel, which holds our build store, be Makabal Tuma? No, Tamaloma, I mean, creates, local creates, from creates, not all creates. Oyoshani Moti Dardur Agola, that's some tool, I guess, use the wagon. Tamaloma, Mikol 8, co-creates Reba. So Mari, this that includes Mari. So Tamaloma sak. So why do we say that this Dardur Agola, something to do again with the wagon, is Makabal Tuma and creates Maxi Grabba and says not Makabal Tuma. Tamar sak masak miyuchar matalta miluo. It's had to be like a sack that it's portable when it's full. Hakalashana. Uki Josh is the Gemara. That's the Josh Gemara. Alma the Ikar Miut, main reason excluded whom Mishum, who mean creates below creates because of the pasuk. Mean creates not co creates. Kochi go yes mitai, anything which is too big, and the class is begetter cloud. It's not a kli at all. The Kab Chamin certainly turns to Suda, which we're talking about. The low Makaya Kli Suda Kshi Gedoyla. It's not called a Kli Suda when it's large. Ve'ena Mishamesh is because Suda doesn't serve for your main part of your meal. Mem, nearly borrowed. It seems to be clear. The Gemod Bag, Goro Kaimalon, just like when we have to conscious something. We go by most of his usage, even if one time you use it on a higher level, more chromatic level. So to the level Filas Kalim. Kli shall lola tzork Suda. If the vessel is not for the purpose of Suda, could go in Sakich, going also achlok klafim, such as you have a knife which is made to cut parchments, last those kumos or to sharpen a pen, made a quill. Or cut nails. Even though occasionally you might use it to cut a food. The Swiss Army knife would be a good example. The cocoa never says it doesn't require the field. The Kavachom I learned. It's Kavachom. The Imli now Hagola Shabo Lea Betocho. And Koshishim Lamikra, if in terms of Hagola, gosh, where the alternative is that something got absorbed. Issa got absorbed. Yeah, by coincidence. We don't care. So Koshkin Mikra. So similar Gola. Yeah, so you can do it anyway because go to the Rov Tashmish. So certainly so certainly here. אבל בסתר שם sim pehei, customs of shon stacking cotton shall suffer him a small knife of scribes. Shecholim and clapping which they use to cut parchments. Also, are right. You can't use them even temporarily unless you were table them. Udvar Twim, Akal Udvar Twim, it's astonishing. So nearly unless you Chatkil Shen Kach. This is what brought him deliberately. Had might use it sometimes for food. Shaikar Yel Chitu Klafin, the main purpose in is cut parchment. Uplakim occasionally Achtoch Bolchim use the cut bread. Chaka the body so that's only required to be. Avim Konel so Rak Klafin alive only buying it for parchment. Avo Bishop Prokim Derech Harai Chotech Bogam Lech, no occasion use the cut bread. Sham Chol the food ain't circulated, doesn't be required to be total. Im Losho says a Bekvias unless you do it on a regular basis. Chen Yesh Lo Ros. That seems to be the actual Psaka Loch Lamaisa. Again, the Swiss Army knife, not required to feel it. Mouth. That's all from the Mechaber. When the Ramah seems Shkos Tiv Ches Mashkos Mechaber Din Kli Sheula. Turns the Var Bessel to Ksharishon Lor Kochel Tzorch Sura. In the first bar, did not take for the purpose of a meal. El Achto Klafin, but to cut parchment Chetzebo. Then Tzorch Tefila, that really don't have to toilet. And that Kosav is Elishon, the Ramah writes Avarishon, also Shtamish Lor Tzorch Sura. The first one can't use it Tzorch Sura. Feel Derech Harai, even if it's occasional, below Tefila without favoring it. Apple be shlochut clapping the border for the purpose of parchments. I can show. Mikom near if he was like the ain't coming derech harai le derech mikra. Still not the same. Derech harai means you do it occasionally, deliberately. Derech mikra means it happened. Okay. El kamo achilas harai klama she'enu su'ekvud. Just like achilas harai means a snack, but it is a significant feeding, right? So here too, that means even if it's not used on a permanent basis, it's used on a regular basis. Miutadir oseke. Somebody does it frequently. He doesn't use it for a lot of bread, but he uses it for a little bread, I guess, consistently. That's considered to be alright. Avoderech mikra, lo mikra tashvish and tefillah, but it happens by happenstance. That's not called usage in terms of tefillah, and it would still be part of this large vessel. Yes, requires more analysis.